Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Duality, and today I'm going to talk. I forgot what I was talking about. I'm going to talk about a very, very simple subject today. Okay, so what I'm going to be talking about today is right and wrong, good and evil, basically duality. But basically, the kind of concept of good and evil, and I want to be this way, not that way, and kind of just delusional things. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So first, I'm going to start with good and evil. Okay, good and evil, right and wrong, are two totally different things. Okay, I drank a kale smoothie. And so I am like full of energy. I'm sweating. I drank some yerba mate earlier, and I still feel great. I feel awesome. Okay, so yeah, I'm a little bit high energy right now. Anyway, so good and evil are basically this idea that there's a system of things that are good and bad. You basically know what good and evil are. Like say things regarding to the sacral chakra, right? Say that anything regarding the sacral chakra or basic human urges, basically reproductive systems in our mind, basically say that that is viewed as an evil thing in whatever belief system you're in, okay? But say your higher self, your soul, or that which you call God, or that which you call the source, but it's actually a higher self, because we can't really communicate with the source. It's too high up in the dimensions outside of the universe, and human ego doesn't really do that much. So yeah, say that in your belief system, basic human urges, reproductive anything regarding the sacral chakra, and anything like that is regarded as evil, right? Okay, so but your higher self, soul / God wants you and is guiding you in the direction of having like 10 children or something like that, because say all your children are going to grow up and become like neurosurgeons or something and like save the world from like global warming or whatever. Okay? Or not. Let's just say that it's your purpose to have a lot of children, okay? For some reason. And because your belief system says, no, that's evil, what's going to be happening is that because of that belief system, you're going to be going against the direction that your higher self is pulling you in, okay? So now we're going to get into the situation of right and wrong. Okay, now the reason I don't believe, well, first, before we get into that situation of right and wrong versus good and evil, is because the reason I don't believe in the concepts of good and evil is because the concepts of good and evil imply that one thing is universally desirable and another thing is universally undesirable. And this is not true, because the universe is very fluid, our emotions are fluid, people's personalities are fluid. So to one person, a really fiery, overbearing, like firework, explosive firecracker of a person, okay? Someone like that, to a really chill person that wants to be around really chill people and kind of just get stoned on the couch and hang out. Okay, to a person like that, someone that's fiery like that and wants to get stuff done might not be good, okay? So that's opposite elements, okay? You have someone that's very chill and someone that's really fiery, and that doesn't really mix, okay? So to that chill person, they could say, well, it's evil to be that fiery. You gotta chill out, man. So, yeah. To that person, they might say, well, it's evil to be that outgoing and everything, because they don't like it. But actually, the thing is that that's their concept, okay? That's their concept. To another person, someone fiery like that, it's pushing society forward. And so they say, it's evil to be a lazy stoner on the couch, okay? They say, it's evil to not do stuff and not get stuff done, and it's evil to, basically just hang out. So those concepts of right and good and evil are contradicting, okay? Because all over the world, concepts of good and evil always contradict each other, and they always imply that one thing is universally desirable and the other thing is not. And that means that one thing in a community, in a family, in a person will be shadowed, okay? So that creates a shadow in the mind. Anything that creates a shadow in the mind fragments human consciousness. And if it fragments human consciousness, that's not a good thing, because that just means that there's going to be crime and mischievous activity and all these things that are bad that's going to build up collectively as a group of people that are the shadow. A group of people that fell through the cracks and stayed between the cracks. Okay, that's going to end up in a group of people that are the living shadow of society. That's going to end up with criminals, murderers, rapists, all that stuff. Okay, so anything that causes a shadow is to be avoided in the future of society. Now I'm going to talk about right and wrong versus good and evil, okay? Right and wrong is a fluid concept, okay? Now I'm creating my own definitions here, because if I don't create my own definitions, I'm just going to be tripping over everyone else's definitions, and I'm not about that. So this is my definition of right and wrong. Right is the direction that my soul and my higher self, that which I call God, well, actually I don't call it God, I just call it my higher self, or my soul. Most of the time I call it my soul, but yeah, basically, right is the direction that my soul guides me in, okay? That's what I consider to be right, okay? So if I can feel a tension, something that's pulling me away from the direction of my soul, something that's shadowing me, then I'm going to automatically say, no, this is not right, okay? And perhaps that's a habit in my vocabulary, but here's what I think. I think that it's just not right. I think that it's just not right in me, okay? To another person, it might be right, but to me, it's not right, okay? And my definition of wrong is anything that my soul is not guiding me in the direction of. So anything that my soul is guiding me in the direction of, that's right. Anything that my soul is guiding me in the opposite direction of, or a slightly off direction of, that's wrong. Okay, so the concept of right and wrong is different for every single person, because every single person came here with a very specific purpose. You see, this is the fact. Your spirit will die, okay? But your soul doesn't die, okay? Because you see, your aura is a vehicle. This is the Merkaba. The aura is the Merkaba, okay? Or rather, should I say that the aura is a manifestation of the Merkaba. What the Merkaba is it's a channel, kind of like a system of pipes for the energy of your higher self, your soul, and your true self to flow through, okay? And what flows through this system of pipes, it creates your ego, it creates your personality, it creates Stellar Toad, it creates, you know, whatever your name is. It creates you. But you see, this is my idea. I'm not saying this is absolute truth. In fact, nothing in this video is the absolute truth. Come up with your own system of beliefs. Now, you see, if your spirit, which is your ego, your personality, if that spirit has detached from the soul, that means that you've lived a life of being out of tune with the soul, with the higher self, that which you call God. You've lived a life of not going in the direction that your soul has guided you. And what that means is that you're kind of like a disconnected robot, almost, that's disconnected from the mind. And so that's where a lot of unconscious people are coming from. It's not their fault. It's the fault of just the way things are, and it's the fault of shadowing. Okay, shadowing causes detachment from the soul. So when you become completely detached from the soul, and when your body dies, okay, your body most of the time, unless you've gone through a kind of system of crystallizing the aura, but most of the time when your body dies, your aura dies and your spirit dies, okay? But a lot of the time, if your spirit is fully connected to your soul, what will happen is that your spirit will then be absorbed as a small piece of code into your soul, and you'll go back to the source this way. This way you'll go back to the source, okay? But if you detach from the soul and live a life of the spirit, live a life of the ego, then what will happen is, in my opinion, this is what I've gotten from, a little bit of research on Hinduism, is that your soul will actually kill the spirit. The soul will kill the personality, the ego. It'll kill the Stellar Toad, okay? Or the whatever your name is, okay? But when you're attached to the soul, you'll absorb into your soul. When you're detached from the soul, it'll be a moment of very intense pain, okay? This is what the Hindus say Shiva does. The Hindus say that Shiva just for an instant after you die, destroys the soul with immense, burning, dreadful pain, like nothing you've ever felt, but only for a moment. And then your spirit's gone, and your soul lives on. Your soul will then create a new ego. Your soul will create a new vessel, okay? So maybe, or maybe not, your past lives might be detached versions of different egos that your soul has created, okay? So past lives might be that, or past lives might be an integrated, connected to the soul version of an ego that has been absorbed. A lot of the time, versions of your ego that have stayed connected to the soul, they'll be easier to remember sometimes, I think, as past lives than things that have detached, because obviously those egos have been destroyed, in my opinion. So, yeah. Right and wrong is whatever direction your soul guides you in. Okay? If your soul guides you in a direction, go that direction and you're doing right. If you go the opposite of that direction, then you're doing wrong. Good and evil are concepts that I think we just need to all drop. We need to drop the concepts of good and evil and just learn to forgive humanity, okay? Because there is a lot of shadowing that goes on in humanity, and even when it's terrible, despicable, disgusting, horrible things, we don't need to be stupid and say, oh, well, we need to let that dude out of prison so he can, do it again. Don't be stupid like that, but you need to learn to forgive in your own heart, even the most despicable people. This is kind of learning to have compassion toward all things. And the way that you really learn to have compassion toward all things, all people, and all souls, and all spirits, even when they're detached, is that you give up the idea of good and evil. And you know how I think that I'm right about this is because I just realized that this says, this is on military time. It says 22:44. And so, yeah. So that's a synchronicity. You might have synchronicities like that. Sometimes, I don't know. So anyway, yeah. That's good and evil, right and wrong. So there is a sense of duality in even the context of right and wrong, but in this ego, you kind of have, in this ego, this spirit, this body, this aura, this Merkaba, this vehicle, this tent, you have to have kind of a concept of duality, because obviously we do live in a dual universe. My body, my physical body, is not connected to that clock, or those rocks right there, or that piece of wood, or that wall. But in the soul, and in reality, the true reality, I'm connected to all things. And so when I learn to forgive all things and all people, even when they're completely against my code in this life, when I learn to forgive them, but not be an idiot also, forgiving isn't the same as being an idiot, but then that is the acknowledgement of oneness. That is Advaita Vedanta, okay? Non-duality, okay? Or at least the most close version that we can get with still containing duality within our mind, because, obviously we are incarnated as dual beings. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and share, and hit the bell icon, because hitting the bell icon, you'll know when I post a video, so you won't have to scroll through all my videos and watch every single one, and sharing this video makes my channel grow, and I would greatly appreciate that, because, I want this channel to grow, obviously, because eventually I kind of want to make a living off this. That would be very nice if I could make a living off my YouTube channel. That would be totally awesome. So, yeah, do all that stuff. This is totally like, subscribe. Yeah, I already said all that. Bye.